Hey folks, thanks for sticking with the video this long. Thought I'd give a little chat about my new guitar, this Washburn N2. So, many moons ago I had to loan off my mate Paul's Washburn N4. Did a demo video on that, did a couple of riffs. And I've always had a hankering for, you know, that Nuno vibe. But it's always been a kind of out of budget or really rare to kind of find the N4s coming up. I heard that my other mate of mine, Clive, was selling is Washburn N2, which is this guitar. And this is kind of a weird thing. I actually know the 3 previous owners of this guitar. So Rick, Paul and Clive won this guitar. And I first played this guitar about 20 years ago at a Gem Jam. So it's quite a long kind of history with this thing. But when I heard that Clive was selling it and I had in mind to start doing a lot more Nuno stuff, you know, look through some more Nuno riffs and stuff off Porn Graffiti, etc. I thought this would be a great opportunity to kind of, you know, jump on the guitar for, you know, that kind of Nuno tone without breaking the bank, pretty much. So how does this differ to kind of other N2s? So as you saw in the specs, this is a 1991 made in Japan, Washburn N2, really early on. If you see other N2s, even with the mag adverts back in the day when the N4 was launched, there was an N2, you know, you could get a black one, there was 2 knobs on it, the Seymour Duncan pickups, there was an N2 in the truss rod cover, all that sort of thing. Then there was an N2 that, you know, Nuno's got his top off, he's always got his top off, but he was holding the N2, you know, with the N4 in the background, that ad, if you remember that one. Again, I can't remember if that was a Chinese made or Korean made one, but you can always see with them, they always look a little bit kind of weird. And that's really to do with the body shape and the placement of the switch and all this. I think the pickups are too close together. So these Japanese N2s and the Japanese N4s as well, they were all based off the original blueprints for the Davies N4s that were the kind of first run. The N4s that were built, and obviously the one that Nuno, his N4 that he plays, and his 4N now as well actually. So the body shape of these with N2s is just a slightly adapted version of what they had for those N4s. So the main difference, of course, is this doesn't have the Stephen Davies cutaway. It's just a kind of bolt on. But you can see at the back here, you know, it's got the little pill cover here. All this kind of routing's the same. The belly cut's nice and deep, which is what you get in those early N4s. And basically they've got the kind of pickup distance and everything is kind of the same here. And the switch location is pretty much the same too. Yeah, so this is a guitar that's very Davies-like in spec, but you just don't have that cutaway, and there's a slightly different upper horn here, which is slightly more elongated. Now, when I got this off Clive, he had put in some zebra pickups, and I wanted to kind of get back to the original, so I sourced, you know, a 59, and I managed to get a hold of a Bill Lawrence USA pickup here. Now, I'm not going to go into great detail about these kind of pickups here. I'm going to do a separate video on that. So if I've already done it, check out the link here. And I'll talk a bit about this pickup and its kind of sordid history and what Nuno actually kind of uses. But I got the Bill Orange USA, swapped out the Bill and Becky one that was in here, and it also came with a Washburn 600S bridge, which was made by Takeuchi. That was a great bridge, but one of the saddles had failed and Clive replaced it with a black one, and I already had a spare Floyd kicking about anyway. From my old Charvel. I've made a video of me kind of installing that, so if you want to check out that and get some more info on what I do with the installation in the Floyd, check it out there. Other little thing that this has got compared to the original from the 91 is a coil split in here as well, push-pull, and I've got a little kind of Lumile volume knob, which is Clive had put in there, which is really cool. I've kept that, but you know, three-way switch. So it's a really cool guitar. The things that kind of stand out about it, I mean, obviously, it's all that kind of N4 kind of Nuno vibe. The rosewood that they've sourced for this is really dark, and you can see kind of how shiny it is in the camera. It's really smooth. It's almost ebony like rosewood. It's really weird, but it really suits the look of the guitar, because I think with a light rosewood thing there, you'd lose that kind of vibe. The neck dimensions, really nice and slim. I was at my mate Paul's actually at the weekend there, and he's got a made in Japan N4, and he's got his vintage US N4. And filling those three necks, this was the kind of thinnest out of the three, but it wasn't far off the made in Japan N4. Whilst the US made N4 had a bit more of a shoulder on it, it was a little bit thicker. I forget the details with when they were changed up the kind of build process for the N4s to make it more like the old Nuno kind of N4, but apparently these kind of necks are a bit more Davies like spec. Apparently, I've never played a Davies to compare, so I can't say, but it's really comfortable. Not really thin, not really thick. The headstock and everything's all the same as you would find in the N4s, even the dimensions. We measured it. The kind of logo, location, all that sort of stuff, and of course I've got it's got Goto tuners on there because it's Japanese made. It's really light, really light. It's about 3.1 kilos, and they're really kind of small bodies. This is one of the things I enjoyed about playing Paul's N4. Very comfortable guitars to play, to sit with, to stand with, just because of the dimensions. Obviously Nuno, he's not a huge guy like myself, just a small guy. He likes the smaller body, and it really does kind of feel comfortable to kind of sit with and play. The other thing I've done with this, I've put in a hardtail, angle hardtailer here, so I can kind of do drop D stuff for Nuno shenanigans. If you want to see the installation video for that and the kind of info on it, check it out. I've already got a video for that, but this works really well. And I thought about getting instead of doing a D tuner, because you might have to route there, you can get something called a tone vise, which is a small little thing for adjusting it, but I'm not, unless I'm doing that live, I can easily just use the fine tuner and drop it down. Yeah. So I'm really enjoying playing this. It's almost kind of like a little bit of a Nuno vibe on a budget. They're very, very rare. There is actually one on eBay at the moment in Japan, but I think it's just a little bit maybe too costly for if you could get it locally, if that makes sense. If you think of the kind of prices of N4s at the moment, there's a bit of a Nuno resurgence, so a lot of the N4 prices have gone way up. Depends if people are buying them though, but the prices have gone up, so there is a bit of a kind of desire for these sort of things again. So it was really cool that this came up as it did, and as I said, I've got major plans to do a lot of Nuno riffs and solos on the channel with this sort of guitar. So there you go, guys. Hopefully the video gave you some info about it. If you've got any questions, whatever, just stick them below and I'll see if I can answer them. But stay tuned, because we've got plenty of Nuno stuff on the way.